So do you know what experts say, that if you do something 5 hours a week if you do something 5 hours a week, in 38 years, you'll be an expert. But if you do something for 40 hours a week, it will take you 5 years to be an expert. So I'm getting old. So I had my first book out 5 years ago, last week, and I work 7 days a week. When I first started writing, I used to write like 11-hour days. Wouldn't do it now. I couldn't have the attention span to do it now. But when I first started, I was just like a man possessed. And there's been a few people lately on videos saying, "Oh, you can't write that many books. There must be a load of shit." Now, anyone who knows me on my social media will know I'm non-stop. I'm like 7 days a week, 5 in the morning. I just don't sleep because I'm obsessed. I've got a lot of people to kill with success. A lot of trolls that'll just sit there and they'll be like just telling utter bullshit on the channel. I'd rather choose to spend my time wisely, and everything I do, I can produce the end product. So all these people saying, "Yeah, we're having the film out, we're having book." No, you're fucking not. You just tell lie after lie after lie. But on the other hand, with me, you can sit back and you'll watch. By the end of this year, I'll have 26 books out. The next year, I'll hit 30 books, and there'll be a time 40 books, 50 books, 60, 100 books. I've got that in me, and this book business, it's really hard. You have to be relentless, because I've had my flops as well. You know, it can be soul destroying to spend months doing a book, and at the end no one will buy it, and you know, you might sell a couple. So there's a saying, I can't remember, it was in a Kevin Costner film years ago: if you build it, they will come. So to write a book, you have to grab the public's interest, and you know, it's hard to do. To you know, as I said, I've done books that I haven't done very well, and I've done books that I've done tens of thousands now. Particularly the Lee Duffy one, the first one. When that Hall of the Moon was released about 4 years ago, 30 was stolen in the first month. So that grasps how the desperation was for people. I've been sat in pubs in Middlesbrough, and I've had shoplifters come in saying, "Hey mate, do you want to buy this book?" And I'm sat there thinking, it took me 5 months to write that, and you're selling it for a £5 when it should be £12.95 in the pub in Waterstones, and these heroin addicts are selling it. So yeah, I'm obsessed with work, and I've had a lot of addictions over the years, or in my life. You know, when I was young, it was amateur boxing. When I was really young, I was a good footballer, and it never entered my head that I wasn't going to play for Celtic, or I wasn't going to become a professional footballer till I was probably about 12. Yeah, you know, I've had some addictions in life that I'm not proud of, you know, but my addiction these days feeds my family, and it supports a lot of registered charities, and that's books, and just working, and being relentless and non-stop. So the people out there saying you can't write that many books in a year, yes you can, if you work 7 days a week and never have a day off and be relentless. I spoke to someone a couple of years ago, And he said to me, I hadn't seen him for years, and he said to me, Jamie, you're fucking everywhere now. And listen, it's not for, listen, I get it, I've been in the Middlesbrough Gazette some like 15 times in 4.5 years, and there's going to be trolls and haters and all this, and you know, people see my face everywhere, and they're like, I get it, people are like, do you know what, I'm fucking sick of seeing him. But if you want to succeed in this business, then you have to be relentless and be obsessed, and that's what I am. So the people out there saying you can't write that many books, we all have the same amount of hours in a day. So if you choose to sit on your channel telling utter fucking crap, lies, which we all know is lies and it's not happening, then so be it. But I choose to get my roll my sleeves up and be hard work, and you know, I plan on absolutely taking over Great Britain these next couple of years with books, just books on top of books on top of books. That's my plan. That's what I do every single day. I work and I've got a really busy schedule. So that's I haven't had a drink for like a month today, actually. I think it's 4 weeks and 2 days. So I know some people, listen, I used to just drink years ago, and you know what, but as I said, my addiction now is work. So I decided last night, I was on the running machine, I thought, you know what, because I've done books that bored me, and obviously I've done the books, for instance, Paul Sykes, Lee Duffy, that I become a bit obsessed with, and they were my obsession. And I'm really obsessed with Brian Clough these days. So I thought last night, you know what, I'm going to do a book on Brian Clough. So next year, do you know last year when I announced and I said there's no more Middlesbrough books, I lied. Next year, I'm going to write a book. It's going to be called Middlesbrough's Own Brian Clough. And it's not about Nottingham Forest. It's not about Derby County. It's going to be all about Middlesbrough, about growing up in Grove Hill, and how he became arguably Middlesbrough's greatest ever. You know what, if he'd have been around today, he would have been bigger than Jose Mourinho. When I had a look at his record last night, and he got Derby County promoted to what is now the first division, the Championship, and then a couple of years later he won the Premiership. Obviously it wasn't the Premiership then, and then he won the Championship, not the Championship, he won the Premiership, or the old First Division with Nottingham Forest, and then he won back-to-back European Cups when Liverpool were about, and the greatest team in the world. So what that man done, I had a look last night, and on ESPN he was great. He was voted the 3rd greatest manager of all time, and that man come from Middlesbrough, come from Grove Hill, which is probably about 2 miles to where I grew up in Berwick Hills. So if there's ever anyone, listen, I've done some books on some absolute cockheads, people I wish I'd have left them under the rock I found them under, from Middlesbrough. And I thought, you know what, if there's been anyone from Middlesbrough who deserves a book on them, it's Brian Clough. So I text Martin O'Neill, because obviously he won 2 European Cups, but do you know what, predominantly I want it all Middlesbrough. So, you know, I'm hoping Martin will do the forward like he did for the Alan Thompson. But overall, I want this book not about Nottingham Forest, not about Derby County, you know, I want him like Middlesbrough. So I want the Gazette will be covering the story, and Cloughie, you know, oh, I said last night in a video, I used to see him all the time when I was about 14, but I didn't appreciate him. But if I seen him now, I'd have absolutely pissed myself. You know, I'd have been starstruck, absolutely starstruck. And Martin O'Neill said to me, he was a celebrity. He had this aura about him before a time of celebrities, when there was no social media and all that. And you know, I believe that he only wasn't given the England job because the FA couldn't have controlled him. He was charismatic, he was flamboyant, he was outspoken, he was controversial, and Brian Clough did it his own way. And yeah, do you know what? Next year, or probably in the new year, what we're in now, maybe about 10 months time, when I've done Junior Witters and I've done Nick Manners, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write a book all about Brian Clough and Middlesbrough. So Middlesbrough's own Brian Clough is going to be coming 2023, and if there's anyone ever who deserved a book on him to honour the great man, then it's Cloughie. Anyway, let us know your thoughts below, and I know quite a lot of people in Middlesbrough. John Spenceley, good friend of mine, he's got lots of Cloughie stories, so I'm gonna walk in the story of Brian Clough from a Middlesbrough point of view, and you know, it's a book I would do for free. Do you know what? It's a book that it would be an honour to just listen to some of the stories. Yeah, I can't think of anyone I would rather spend months researching than Brian Clough. Anyway, don't forget to click and subscribe. God bless. Thanks for your time.